The bullet hits the windshield before you even hear it. Glass explodes inward. The limousine swerves. You're already moving. The door opened. Body pivoted. The suit jacket pulled back just enough to clear the weapon. The president is still inside. And you have exactly 3 seconds to decide, is this an assassination attempt or a distraction? Before the motorcade, before the gunfire, you're 22, standing in a federal building that doesn't exist on any public map. No signs, no flags, just a metal detector and a man who doesn't smile. They take your phone, your watch, your fingerprints. You sit in a white room for 40 minutes. No clock, no windows. A voice comes through a speaker. Why do you want this job? You prepared an answer about service, honor, country, but your mouth goes dry. Because the real question isn't why you want it. It's whether you can survive it. You pass the background checks. Polygraph, financial audit, psychological screening. They ask about your parents, your ex, your browser history. They ask what you'd do if ordered to shield a target with your own body. You say yes. You don't hesitate. That's what they're measuring. Not loyalty, instinct. It is extremely hot outside. The ground is so hot that it feels like it's melting under your shoes. You learn to shoot until your shoulders bruise. You learn to drive until tires burst. Reverse at 60 miles per hour. J-turns, precision ramming. They blindfold you and throw you into simulated chaos. Smoke, screaming, fake gunshots. You fail the first scenario. You were watching the shooter, not the exit. Lesson learned. You don't chase threats. You eliminate angles. Sleep becomes optional. Perfection becomes mandatory. One mistake in training is humiliation. One mistake in the field is history. You're posted outside the White House gates. Tourists take photos 5 feet away. They smile at you like you're part of the attraction. You scan hands, waistbands, backpacks. A man lingers too long by the fence. You feel it before you understand it. Something's wrong. He's sweating. It's 50 degrees. His hand keeps dipping into his jacket pocket. You step forward. "Sir, can I speak with you?" He bolts. You tackle him before he reaches the street. The knife clatters onto the pavement. Reporters call it a minor incident. You replay it all night. What if you were 2 seconds slower? You start realizing something. Most threats don't look like villains. They look ordinary. Now you're not standing still. You're watching watchers. Hotel rooftops, parking garages, restaurant windows. You learn to see patterns. The same sedan passing twice. The same man pretending to read a newspaper. You work with advanced teams before major speeches, mapping exits, counting windows, measuring distances. You enter the ballrooms hours before the president arrives. You check under tables, behind curtains, inside ventilation shafts, and sometimes you find things. An unattended backpack once, a wire taped beneath a podium another time. False alarms? Maybe, but you never assume, because assuming gets people killed. You're close now, close enough to hear the president between meetings. Your job is proximity. You walk 2 steps behind at all times, eyes scanning, hands ready. Crowds surge during campaign season. Hands reach out for handshakes. You track fingers more than faces. A woman screams and pushes forward. Instant reaction. You move before taking another breath. Shield, tackle. She's just emotional, overwhelmed, but for half a second, tight internal panic. You didn't know that. That half second is your life now. The motorcade incident wasn't random. That's what bothers you. The bullet that shattered the glass. You review footage, frame by frame. No clear shooter, nothing. The FBI says stray round. Local PD says gang crossfire, but you were there. It felt intentional. That question sits in your head like a splinter. Who was it really meant for? You're assigned to intelligence briefings now. Threat matrices, foreign chatter, encrypted forums, names you can't repeat. Plots that never make headlines. You learn how thin the line is, how many attempts never reach daylight. A report crosses your desk. An online post referencing glass and silence. Time-stamped 2 hours before the motorcade shooting. The account is deleted. No trace. You flag it. It disappears into bureaucracy. No follow-up. That's when unease turns into suspicion. Is someone burying something? Or are you seeing ghosts? You weren't supposed to access that file, but you did. Because the angle of that bullet still doesn't make sense. Ballistics report redacted, witness statements altered, one rooftop camera malfunctioned. You start noticing something else. One of your own, Agent Ramirez, keeps steering conversations away from the incident, keeps downplaying it. You trust him. You've bled beside him. But trust in this job is conditional. You follow him one night after shift. He meets someone in a parking lot. Exchange is quick. A thin envelope. You can't see what's inside. He sees you watching. For a moment, neither of you move. You confront him privately. He laughs, says you're paranoid, says this job does that to people. Maybe he's right. You haven't slept more than 4 hours a night in months. But then you get reassigned, abruptly, off protective detail. Paperwork says routine rotation. It doesn't feel routine. You dig deeper. The deleted online account traces back to a federal IP block. Not foreign, domestic. Someone from inside. The threat wasn't from outside the perimeter. It was within it. The bullet wasn't meant to kill. It was a test, a calibration, someone mapping response time, measuring your movement, studying blind spots. And Ramirez had access to those patterns. You report everything. The chain of command listens quietly. Too quietly. 2 days later, Ramirez is gone. Administrative leave. No charges, no arrest. Just gone. Official statement. Unrelated conduct violation. Unofficially? You'll never know. Files sealed. Questions buried. The system protects itself first. The president continues shaking hands. Cameras flash. Speeches continue. And you stand 2 steps behind. Scanning. Always scanning. You realize something no one tells you during recruitment. This job isn't about stopping every threat. It's about absorbing uncertainty. Right now, someone is calculating angles, testing weaknesses. You will never know how many plots were real, how many are just tests, how many came from enemies or insiders. You will never know. Years pass. New agents rotate in. Young, sharp, confident. They stand where you once stood. You see the questions in their eyes. They think the biggest danger is the crowd, the lone gunman, the obvious villain. You know better. The real danger is complacency, and sometimes the man standing next to you. One day, during another motorcade, sunlight hits the windshield just right. For a split second, it looks like cracked glass. Your pulse spikes, your hand moves instinctively, but it's nothing, just light. You don't relax, because next time, it might not be. And if that bullet ever comes again, you won't have 3 seconds. You'll have 1. And that has to be enough.